Humans have somewhat of a symbiotic relationship with animals. We keep them in our homes, live in the same environment. Sometimes we help each other out. Usually we see instances of humans going out of their way to save animals, but the opposite can happen as well. Today, we look at times when animals surprised us and went out of their way to help us out. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 miraculous instances of animals saving humans. '25. Dolphins swim to save woman. 23-year-old Ivana Vladislavich was sailing out in the Indian Ocean when her yacht exploded, sending her into shark-infested waters. She swam there for a while before 3 dolphins came upon her. One dolphin allowed her to grab on, and the other 2 swam circles around them watching for sharks. They eventually dropped her off at a buoy where a passing ship found her. The dolphins swam well over 200 miles just to save this woman. 24. Seal saves men from shark attack. When a local swimmer in Cape Town, South Africa swam out into open waters, despite flags being posted that there were sharks in the area, he was attacked by a shark and was losing blood fast. 2 men risked their lives to swim out to him and rescue him, but they discovered that there was a shark nearby waiting for them. Just when they thought it would attack, a seal swam between the men and the shark. Then the seal continued to swim circles around them. Onlookers later said that the shark was keeping close and the seal stayed with the men the whole time until they reached the shore. 23. Gorilla carries boy to safety. Back in 1996, a little boy fell almost 20 feet down into a gorilla enclosure at a zoo. A female gorilla went to the young boy and carried him to a nearby door where rescuers were waiting. The gorilla was also carrying her own child on her back the whole time. Some credit goes to the gorilla's maternal instincts as to why the gorilla acted in this way. 22. Golden Toby saves the day. After Toby's owner, Debbie, started choking while eating an apple, she tried to perform the Heimlich maneuver on herself, but eventually fell to the ground. In an effort to help, Toby, the golden retriever, began jumping on his owner's chest until the apple was dislodged. Once she was no longer choking, Toby began licking her face to make sure she stayed conscious. 21. Cat acts as house guard. Bandit the house cat usually patrolled the house at night in search of any danger outside of the house. Whenever she would see anything, she would meow at it for a while. Usually it would just be another cat or animal outside. This is what Bandit's owner thought, until Bandit ran into the room and began pulling the covers off of her owner and clawing at his arm. Bandit's owner went out to see what the fuss was about and discovered 2 robbers attempting to break into the house with a crowbar and a handgun. Seeing that the owner of the house was awake, the robbers ran off. 20. Beavers keep boy warm. A young boy lost his parents during a camping trip when their boat sank while they were fishing. The boy tried to make it to a nearby town, but with the cold setting in and the sun going down, he lay on the ground to sleep. He felt what he assumed was a dog snuggle up to him. In the morning, he had 3 beavers snuggling close. They kept him warm all night long in below freezing temperatures. 19. Whale saves diver. A 26-year-old freediver was participating in a diving competition where they had to dive to the bottom of an Arctic pool and remain there for as long as possible. Well, the longer the diver was there, the colder her legs got, until she could barely kick her legs to swim back to the surface. Luckily, some native beluga whales were nearby, and just as the diver thought she was going to drown, the whale came from underneath her and pushed her up to the surface. 18. Golden Retriever saves her freezing owner. When Kelsey's owner slipped and fell in the snow in the Michigan wilderness, he broke his neck and was paralyzed. Kelsey, the golden retriever, laid on top of her owner for 19 hours while trying to get the attention of anyone nearby. Eventually, someone came upon them and helped save her owner. 17. Zoe the Chihuahua saves boy from rattlesnake. 1-year-old Booker West was splashing his hands in a bird bath in his grandparents' backyard when a rattlesnake slithered up, rattled, and struck the boy. Zoe the Chihuahua, however, saw the rattlesnake and jumped in the way of the attack, taking the bites instead. They treated the bites the best they could, and even though they didn't think Zoe would survive, she made a full recovery and was completely fine. 16. Humpback whale saves marine biologist from shark. The marine biologist Nan Hauser was diving off the coast of Murray Beach, or Tonga, when a massive humpback whale came upon her. The whale began bumping her with its head and trying to put her underneath its fin. Nan thought the whale was trying to attack her, but soon realized it was in fact trying to save her from a tiger shark that was fast approaching. Nan let the whale place her beneath its fin, and the whale took her to safety, narrowly avoiding the shark. 15. Elephant saves little girl from tsunami. An 8-year-old girl named Amber was on vacation in Thailand in 2004 and would always run down to the beach to see the elephants every morning. One morning, she rode on Ning Nong, the elephant's back, around the beach when the elephant got agitated and ran from the beach with Amber on its back. It was soon after that the infamous Boxing Day tsunami hit the beachside. Ning Nong kept running from the shoreline even while the ocean surrounded them. Amber and Ning Nong both survived. And the incredible story has even been made into a novel, play, and documentary. 14. Sea lion saves bridge jumper. When a 19-year-old with bipolar disorder jumped from the Golden Gate Bridge, he went on record as saying he immediately regretted it. Miraculously, he survived, all thanks to a sea lion. The sea lion kept the severely injured man afloat by continuously bumping the man up to the surface of the water. The man is just one of 33 people who have survived jumping from the Golden Gate Bridge. 13. Blue the pit bull saves infant from fire. When a fire broke out in this family's rental house, it took great effort to get everyone out, and most of the family was able to get out. They took account of the family and realized that their small infant had been left in the house. Seeing this, the family dog, a pit bull named Blue, ran back into the burning house. Blue led the firefighters into the house and right to the infant, who was stuck in her playpen. 12. Cat saves family from house fire. A family's 13-year-old tabby named Baby saved her owners from a fire that started in their back room. The usually timid cat began jumping up and down on its sleeping owners in an attempt to wake them up. They eventually woke up, grabbed what they could, and fled the house. What's even more amazing is that one of the owners was 7 months pregnant with twins, meaning Baby saved 2 babies and her owners. 11. Lion save little girl. A week after being kidnapped by 4 men, a 12-year-old girl was saved from her kidnappers by 3 lions. The lions scared the men off and remained with the girl until the police arrived. A local wildlife expert believed that they didn't harm the girl because her cries sounded a lot like a lion cub in need. 10. Pit bull calls 911. When former U.S. Marine Terry McGlade had a seizure, his pit bull Major called for help. Not by barking or yelping like any other dog. No, Major managed to get his owner's phone out of his pocket and call 911 with his paws. Due to 911 thinking it was some sort of prank, they kept hanging up. Major had to dial 911 not once, not twice, but 10 times before they dispatched help. 9. Angel the dog saves boy from beast. Angel, the 18-month-old golden retriever, threw herself between her 11-year-old boy and a cougar that had gotten in the family's backyard. The cougar and Angel fought underneath a deck while the rest of the family called the police. Luckily, an officer was nearby and managed to kill the cougar before it could do fatal damage to Angel. She made a full recovery and stayed by the 11-year-old's side the whole time. 8. Tommy the cat calls 911. Tommy's owner uses a wheelchair and suffers from osteoporosis and balance issues due to mini strokes. One day, Tommy's owner fell out of his wheelchair and couldn't get up. Usually, he would use a medical alert necklace, but it was out of reach, and the man didn't know what to do. Eventually, the police showed up and found Tommy the cat lounging by the now open phone. Apparently, Tommy had gotten to the phone and dialed 911 to alert the police, to the shock of the on-scene officer and Tommy's owner. 7. Black bear saves hiker from mountain lion. Robert Briggs was hiking along a familiar path when he came across a pack of black bears. He merely stopped to gaze at them for a minute when a mountain lion grabbed his legs and began attacking him. Just when he thought he was done for, a 400-pound black bear threw the mountain lion from the hiker, saving his life. The bear then got on all fours, looked at Robert, and walked off. Robert credits this to the fact that the bear had definitely seen him before and knew who he was. 6. Lefty the dog takes a bullet for her owner. Before I begin, don't worry. Lefty the dog lives. 4 intruders broke into Lefty the pit bull's house and began to threaten her family with guns. When one of the intruders pointed the gun at her owner, Lefty jumped in front of the bullet that would have hit her. The hospital that treated Lefty crowdfunded her treatment for the family and got enough funding. Even though Lefty had to have one of her legs amputated, her smile never faded, and she's still very happy to this day. Pit bulls are such sweet dogs. All dogs are sweet. I love dogs. I love animals. What a great list. We're not even done. We still got 5 more. Animals are the best. 5. Pig plays dead to save owner. Lulu, the pot-bellied pig, ran out into the road and played dead when her owner had a heart attack and needed help. Lulu broke through the backyard fence and ran to the road. Eventually, someone stopped to check on Lulu, and she led them back to her hurt owner. They called the paramedics, and her owner was saved. Had Lulu's owner been left there for another 15 minutes, she wouldn't have survived. That's one good pig. 4. Peanut saves freezing child. Peanut is a dog that was rescued from an abusive home who ended up rescuing someone herself. Her owners were curious as to what could be wrong when she began frantically running around the house yelping and barking. When they finally let Peanut outside, she ran straight to a 3-year-old girl who was freezing outside in the cold. When the little girl finally came to, all she said was, "Doggy." See? Pups are awesome. All animals. Wow. 3. Turtle acts as a lifeboat. Mrs. Villanueva, with her daughter and 2 sons, were on a boat that caught fire and sank out in the open ocean. While her daughter and sons were rescued, Mrs. Villanueva drifted out to sea, getting stuck in a strong current. Reports say she floated out in the ocean for over 12 hours before she was able to grab onto what she thought was an oil drum. That oil drum turned out to be a large sea turtle that managed to get her to a rescue boat sometime later. The turtle then circled the boat twice, apparently making sure that their rider was safe and in good hands. I see turtles. 2. Dolphins save swimmers. A lifeguard took his daughter and some of her friends swimming in New Zealand. Then they were soon surrounded by a ring of dolphins. The lifeguard said that he sensed something was wrong, and when they tried to break away from the dolphins who had formed that ring around them, well, they herded them back. It wasn't soon after that the lifeguard saw a massive great white shark that was nearby. The dolphins protected the 4 of them from the shark until they reached the shore. 1. Blind dog saves girl from drowning. Even though Norman the yellow retriever lost his eyesight years ago, he still put himself in harm's way to save a little girl that was drowning near the public beach that Norman and his owner ran at fairly frequently. Upon hearing the girl's cries for help, Norman dove into the ocean and swam to her. He led her gently back to shore, saving her life. So, have you ever been saved by an animal, or know anybody that has? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell. Don't forget to join our Discord, do all that fun stuff. Interacting is how it helps the algorithm. So thank you guys so much. I love you, and as always, I'll see you next time.